Hey guys, my name's Lorenzo, and this is my first video. So don't mind me if I stutter or seem a little nervous because I definitely am. But I'm going to make it on my coming out story in elementary school. Um, I definitely noticed that I did like boys. Um, I was always fascinated with them for some reason. Oh god, that sounds creepy. But yeah, I realized that I was gay at a really early age. I think most children do, but it wasn't until middle school where I realized that it was a big problem, or not so much a problem, but a life changing event. Um, because all of elementary school, I tried suppressing the idea um, that it was wrong or immoral because my family had a strong Catholic background. So definitely in the Catholic religion, that's seen as something that's not good. But yes, in middle school, I had two friends that I kind of told that I was gay, but I also told them that I was bisexual because I didn't want to make a big spectacle out of myself, and I'm very grateful that they were able to keep a secret. And it wasn't till probably eighth grade where I started realizing that I might not be bisexual. But I still continued to try and date girls as best I could. Um, and I even dated one of my best friends for a while, and that ended horribly. Then my sophomore year, I moved from Florida to Virginia, and that was a big life changing event itself. And I decided I should be at least somewhat truthful with my new friends. I told them that I was interested in men, but that I was also somewhat interested in girls. And I played that whole, I'm 90% into guys, but 10% into girls, so I'm still considered bisexual. Woo! Um, but that definitely wasn't the case. My junior year, I got my first job, and that's where I met my boyfriend. Um, well, I actually met him in high school when I moved to Virginia. I used to cut him in the lunch line all the time. So I'm pretty sure he hated me for a while. But back to my work story. Um, that's when I met him, and that's when I realized that I'm not bisexual and that men is what I want for the rest of my life. So I decided I would slowly come out to everybody. Definitely friends first because, people feel that they can trust their friends more than they can trust their family. And one day my mom just so happened to come across a note that I had written to my boyfriend, and that was catastrophic to say the least. Because it definitely hurt our relationship a little. She felt that I couldn't tell her anything, and I mean, something like that, that's something that you can't really tell your parents, only because seeing their reactions to certain things kind of scares you a little. And my mom definitely wasn't one to really be open about things like that. But one of the biggest motivators in me actually fessing up to my mom was the fact that my aunt is a lesbian and she's been with her girlfriend for a while now. And that's something that I wanted. So that's one of the big motivators that helped me or pushed me into the direction of actually coming out to my family members. My aunts definitely knew first. They said they known forever because I used to walk around with this little motion right here. But my mom was kind of hurt that she wasn't the first to be told. And admittedly, I was scared to tell my mom because I was scared that it'd break her heart. Being the only boy, I'm supposed to be able to pass on the family name and get her grandchildren. And I mean, that's kind of shot now. But, hmm, I don't know what to say. one of the biggest problems I've had with coming out was the fact that me and my mom didn't see eye to eye. So my senior year of high school was definitely a time of trial and error, to say the least. One day after a really big argument, I decided that I should leave just to start my own life and kind of get a feel for who I was. Because at the time, I thought I was all big and bad. I'm 18, I know what I'm doing. But it definitely hasn't been easy. But I will say one thing: I'm glad I did it. And being gay and out there in the world, I'm lucky to say that I've faced no big problems with being gay. Um, living in a really southern area, it seems to be the a big hub for bigotry and narrow-mindedness. But I have yet to face any of that, and I'm really lucky. Um, so I moved in with my boyfriend after a year of being with him, and that was a feat in itself. We were still fairly new at this whole dating thing, and here I am living with him after a year. Um, but we've made it work, and we've lasted 3 years. So I'm very proud to say that I adulted and I put my big boy pants on and grew up. I guess at the end of the day, it's your life. You have to live it the way you want. You know how they say only God can judge, and I definitely feel that very deeply in my bones. Family is supposed to be there to protect you and accept you, which my family has, and I'm very grateful, and I'm more than happy to say that I'm happy. And it definitely does get better. You know, you might think that right now might be the hardest time of your life, but tomorrow you could wake up and you could be in heaven. You just have to be willing to work hard and go for it, and don't be afraid. Um, it's your life. Surround yourself with positive friends, positive thinking, positive environment. Just make sure that you set your boundaries and that your life is going the way you want it to. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with yourself and making sure that you're happy. Um, so again, I just want to say happy National Coming Out Day, and this was my story.